Yo, yo.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good, man. Sorry about that, dude. I just finished a workout.
Oh, you're all
Oh, you're
good,
good.
man. Hitting up on the bike?
Yeah, and then I just did some here, actually I'll show you guys my setup.
Sure.
And then I just put like a little like line just across just so I can do some like like boxing head movement drills.
Okay.
Yeah, today's my last day, man. I'm super excited.
Oh shit, yeah. Where are
Oh,
you
fuck.
currently held up?
Fucking enjoy that beer, bro. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, son.
I
Where are you held
am
up, Frank?
I'm in Irvine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today's your last day. Where you taking off where to tomorrow?
Oh, I could leave the house finally, you know?
Gotcha. How you
Yeah,
feeling,
and
man?
they're pretty good. Feel pretty good.
Good. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
thank goodness it didn't kick my ass too much. I mean, we could in the freaking podcast, so we don't freaking shit. Hold on, am I still muted? Hello?
No, you're good.
I hear you.
Okay. How you guys doing?
Good, man. We should probably introduce ourselves. So my
Yeah.
name's Gage. I'm the one you've been talking to on Instagram. My name's Gage.
Solid, Gage.
And then nice to meet you, man. And then that's Alex, my co-host.
Yes.
Yo, what up, Alex?
How's it going?
Man, enjoy that beer. Have a beer for me, please.
Yeah.
Are you gonna when you gonna have one, man?
Probably after my next fight.
Okay. And
Yeah,
so obviously we know that the Brock Weaver fight couldn't happen. Obviously, it's a
Fuck,
shame.
yeah, dude, super bummed, dude. Yeah, so I was looking, like, even myself, man, I was looking forward to that fight. I mean, aside from me loving to fight and love doing it, like I love the matchup, I think it would have been a really good fight, man. And yeah, it was unfortunate that he lost. I mean, like I'm always fighting and training to win, you know what I mean? So I mean, he would have had a loss anyway if he fought me, I think. Yeah.
Hey. There's a
Yeah,
confidence. I love it.
yeah, I mean, you have to, like, look, I'm not in the game to just try to survive, or whatever. I mean, my record's not really the best right now in the UFC, but I felt like that matchup was really good for me. I would love to run that again. I'm not too sure how that's gonna work though, but so I finished my 10-day quarantine today or tomorrow actually, and then I go get tests to make sure that I'm negative, so that I could go to the gym, and then also to I could start working on a rebooking of a next fight.
Hell yeah. We're actually supposed to talk to Brock Weaver tomorrow. We're pretty good, big fans of his. He's awesome. Was there anything that Jalen Turner exposed in his game that you had seen as a weakness or anything like that, and you were planning to exploit?
No, I think Jalen's approach was kind of the same as what I was going to do. I was going to get in his face and start putting pressure. I think it was a very difficult adjustment for Weaver, because me and Jalen are two totally different body types and fighting styles. Jalen he's a southpaw, but I know he switches. And it's kind of a bummer, man. But that's the fight game, right? You got to adapt on the fly, within days, hours. Shit, seconds, dude. When leather's flying. I think that I would love to run it back with Weaver. I'm not too sure. Maybe you guys can ask him when you guys talk to him. That would be so dope. To run it back, and I think it'll be a good one for the fans. Fuck, I think it'll be a good one for me,
Yeah.
a good one for him. A good one for him.
Absolutely. We can definitely ask him that tomorrow. Hopefully everything lines up and we can talk to him. I was going to ask about how do you think – so is Jalen Turner in the same weight class? Because he took that fight on pretty short notice. I was wondering how he made the cut so quick.
Yeah, well, I know they fought at 165.
That's right. It was a catch weight. Gotcha.
They fought at 165, and he was preparing the week before, and his fight got pulled. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
So he was, he probably like pigged out or whatever, but man, in 7 days, even 5 days, you're still in pretty good shape to take on fights. He kind of like pulled back on the gas pedal a little bit in the second round. But nothing too crazy. Like man, you're in fight shape. He's always training. He's a beast. I'm a huge fan of both of them, and me and Jalen are actually managed by the same guy. So I've run into Jalen so many times. He's Cool cat, man. Really cool cat.
That's awesome. I think on the broadcast, Michael Bisping said that they've been sparring partners in the past. Have you ever ran into Bisping or anything like that, or is that just a
Uh, I know because I know they train at the Ruka gym, and
okay?
I with Jason Perillo, and
Yeah,
I know Bisbing goes over there. But when I'm out here stateside, I'm here at Team Oyama, and I mean the Ruka gym's right down the street. I've been there before. Awesome people. What they got going there down there too is great, man. My teammate Chito Vera trains with Perillo, and and some other guys up there too. So it's like yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of as big as MMA is. It's still very small.
yeah, for sure. It's a good. And speaking of your friend Chito Vera, it's a good time to be invested in the Chito Vera train, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, we Tito has always had a really strong kicking game, and he definitely exposed a huge part of Sean O'Malley. Everyone's gonna chop those legs now when they fight him.
For sure, for sure. Um, Alex, you got anything? I don't want to talk Frank's ear off too much.
Well, yeah, I was just curious now. I know, like, obviously, big bummer you're preparing for a fight. I was just curious, like, we don't really know, like, when on our side, not being behind the scenes, we just kind of see, like, your, like, fighter gets pulled. Like, is it you go in, you get tested, it's like 2 days later, and then you just kind of get a phone call? And was it, like, in your situation, you said it didn't hit you too hard. Did you feel totally fine? So it was kind of just like a shock of, like, oh, shit, I'm done?
Yeah. So what happens is prior to fight week, prior to the a few days, like a week before fight week, you take a test so that you can go to fight week. So you take a test. Obviously, I was negative, so I was able to go to fight week. I I Upon arrival that Tuesday, I took a test in the like in the afternoon when I arrived, and then I got my results back. So after you take that test, you have to self quarantine with you and your teammates and your coaches in your room for till they get the test results, which is usually in the morning. And unfortunately, that morning I got the call. You're like, hey, Frank, your results. I mean, your corner came a bit negative. Even though you're training with them, freaking weird. My results came back positive that morning, and I needed to come back in that same morning to take a retest just to make sure that I was not a false positive. So I took that test that Wednesday, the day after that morning. They rushed it to the lab, and then I got a call in the afternoon saying that I got a double positive. So the protocol that I had to go through was I just had to stay in my room. I couldn't leave. The UFC opted, or they gave me the option of either quarantining. Is that even a word? To quarantine at home, or sorry, to quarantine at a hotel for 10 days in Vegas, or get me a rent a car so that I could drive back to my residence. And luckily, it was only in California. It was only like a 4-hour drive because I can't fly, obviously, because I have
Mhm.
COVID. So I drove to Irvine and just self quarantine at my residence here in where I'm staying at in Irvine. Thank goodness it wasn't a bad drive.
Yeah. I was just curious, did you feel bad? Because I feel like for me, it'd be such a mental thing to get over if I felt completely fine. But I'm
Yeah,
just
bro,
being,
dude, I could have fought that. Like I was
yeah,
watching the fight that week, that Saturday, and I was like, damn, man, oh, I could be fighting right now.
yeah,
And I just got over my runny nose. You know what I mean? And I like a little sore throat because usually when we go into Vegas, Vegas is dry. Vegas is like a
yeah.
desert. For those that have never been there, it's dry, especially coming from like the islands where it's super humid. You know what I mean? So every time I get to Vegas, my lips are always chapped and my throat's always dry. So I thought it was kind of it's whatever. It's like it's just typical trip to Vegas again, and I felt good. I mean, during the 10-day quarantine, being positive for COVID. I don't know if it's just in my mind or whatever, but well, I definitely felt my body fighting something off. Thank goodness I was healthy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm hydrated. I'm eating good. I'm the worst COVID freaking host to be at the end of fight camp. You know what I mean? I'm like a tip top shape. my weight's low. Everything is perfect physically, right? I if anything, I could have, man, I could, if I didn't know, man, I could easily have fought, you know what I mean? But the last thing, of course, obviously, right, I don't want to spread it to people and then it spreads to people that can't combat it. But yeah, just I had a runny nose, little sore throat. The runny nose was over within like a few days. I felt body soreness, but I honestly thought it was just like the end of camp soreness. I did try to go get on a stationary bike, probably like 5 days after, and I could feel my lungs. I was like, oh shit, like damn, I'm not dying, but like I could definitely feel my body was fighting something. Um, but other than that, man, I'm so thankful, bro, that it didn't kick my ass. And man, I hear that other symptoms from other people that it just wrecks them. So maybe
Yeah.
I got a real shitty strain, or I'm just freaking badass. I don't know. But it's such a bummer though, such a bummer. And at first when I first initially found out that I was positive, dude, I was kind of like, oh shit, kind of like fuck, dude, like almost like starstruck,
Mm-hmm.
because it was kind of like meeting like for me all-time greats like Anderson Silva for the first time. I was like, oh shit, I got COVID. Holy shit, it's Anderson Silva. Like whoa, like wow. And then when you really just meet Anderson, he's just a freaking normal guy from Brazil that loves training and loves to fight. He's just a regular dude. And that's kind of how my thoughts were with COVID. I was like, fuck, man, this thing's really nothing, dude. It's like there's so much like unnecessary fear backed behind this thing that's shutting down economy, shutting down countries, dude. I mean, you ask any frontline worker, right, about their experience with COVID, oh, it's gonna be horrific. Like, man, so they're dealing with it with the front lines. People with underlying conditions are dying. It's in drastic, crazy ways. I'm not no medical professional, whatever, but my experience with it is just kind of like, damn, dude, this is so whack. Like, I just hope that everyone just owns up to their like physical health and their mental health, and just fucking don't fear it. But it's definitely dangerous, but don't fear it.
Mm-hmm.
Wise
Well,
words.
yeah, man, we're
Wise
both
words.
happy that you got through it with no issue. Always good to hear. Sounds like you're gonna come out. Sounds like you're feeling good now.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, I just finished the workout right there
Yeah.
with the bike and like some head movement drills. I'm just so excited to get out of here and freaking run outside, you know what I mean, or
Mm-hmm.
ride the bike outside, but man, it is what it is. And if anything, it was a good little 10-day little thing. Camp was good. Maybe it's kind of like a blessing in disguise in the sense of I have more time to prep. I kept my weight down during quarantine. And, Uber Eats was killing me the first 2 days. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, man, online freaking shopping for food, dude, was wild. And then I was just like, you know what, I got back on it. Working with my nutritionist, kind of just got back to my oatmeals in the morning, and a lot of fruit and veggies, and just back on it, man. Just trying to stay. I guess can't wait to get back in there, so I can get back home to my family, man, and my island.
Yeah, man, for sure. So, so let's say, assuming after your quarantine you get tested again and everything's good, you're good to go. If you're trying to make a quick turnaround and fight again, are you probably going to stay where you're at, or do you plan on flying back home first before you take
Oh
another
yeah.
fight?
So right now, if I fly back home and to Guam, I have to quarantine in a hotel for fucking 2 weeks, dude.
Ooh.
Wild. It's wild. There's a lot of lawsuits going on right now. It's wild, and it's like, man, I'm gonna be stuck in quarantine for over a month if I go back home. So I was talking to the wife, and better be out here in training and try to schedule my next fight. Maybe not in the next week or 2 weeks. I want to get some gym time, of course, right? Because I've
Sure.
been out for 10 days, but definitely in the next month or so.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully,
Hell yeah.
hopefully not longer. Hopefully not longer. But I miss my family, and I can't wait to get back home.
Absolutely. So I think you mentioned this already, but I'll ask again. So you're keeping your weight. Your weight's good. Like if the UFC said, "Hey, 2 weeks, we're ready to go," you'd be able to make a
Oh
good
yeah,
cut and all that stuff.
yeah, we'll be able to be good.
So the UFC is going to go. They're going to Fight Island starting next weekend. Adesanya versus Costa is going to be in Fight Island. So let's say let's say you got retested. You're negative. You're good to go. Would you hop on a flight to Fight Island to fight in a couple weeks?
Preferably not. But I
Okay.
mean, man, honestly, it's really what the company needs me to do. Man, I'll be ready. And then I mean, I would love to go to the Gaethje. I would love to be on the Gaethje Khabib card. That would be fucking dope. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
Man, there's a lot of great fights coming up to a Fight Island. So
Ooh, I know. We got.
man, and then
We'll
with the
save it. We'll
sign,
save it for the end, but we want to get your predictions. So we'll save it. We'll
yeah,
save it to the end, but we want to get some predictions from
okay, for sure, for sure. And they just signed Chandler, so I mean, yeah, that's another thing that we could talk about. That was gonna be great.
you. Absolutely, man. How do you think Michael Chandler's going to do in the UFC?
I've had the privilege of training with him before. Uh he's a stud, man. In and out of the cage. He's a
Hell
stud.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pretty. I wouldn't say a big fan. I'm not overly familiar with him. I don't typically get the chance to watch Bellator as much as I would like to. I am a fan of the promotion though, and all the fights I have seen of his, I mean, he's pretty unbelievable. Just a brick wall. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And
I was hoping they did the Tony fight, man.
I know. Hey, we never know, man. Like you just never know with the UFC what could happen. So I'm staying posted, dude. As a fan, I'm like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Dream. All right, Frank. Your dream UFC debut for Michael Chandler in the lightweight division. Who you got?
I would have set him up with Tony. I wouldn't set him up with Tony. Paul Felder. I saw someone post that.
That'd be
I
fun.
would Paul Felder. I'd love to see him against like a Drew Dober. That would be a good fight.
Sure. You
You
fought Drew
know,
Dober, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. That was
It
your
was
debut, yes?
no, my debut was
No.
against the Leech, Li Jingliang. He's
Oh, yes. That's right.
the Chinese guy.
Yes.
Yeah, goddamn, that guy was freaking. Oh, that fight was fun. I took it like on like 10 days notice and um for my UFC debut. Yeah, I fought
Gotcha.
Dober too, and it was kind of like a controversial loss. It is what it is, man. It was a pretty close fight if you guys ever see it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
seen it. I don't remember it off the top of my head how it went down. I wasn't even sure you lost, to be honest with you. I don't remember it
yeah,
that well. Good fight,
yeah.
yeah? To
It was a good
rewatch?
fight. It was a good fight. Yeah. Oh, it was a great
Absolutely.
fight. It was a fight of the night.
Absolutely. I'll fucking check that shit out for sure.
Yeah.
Alex, go ahead with another question because
I had a
I'm
question.
blanking for a second.
So I know you're just from talking to you, Guam's pretty important. What's the MMA community like out there, kind of on the island? And I know you obviously take pride in where you're from. Do you feel like you're an ambassador for kind of the island? That's your island you're representing, and how's that feel?
I wouldn't call myself an ambassador, but we have 3 guys in the UFC right now in the past like 2 weeks that got signed. Rocky Martinez just made his debut, and Trev Jones just made his debut. He had a spectacular freaking performance. So now it's the 3 of us. I'm a proud local boy, man. Just grew up in the islands, killer sunsets every day. Nice blue water beaches, warm water, and 85, 90 degrees all year. So
Shit, yeah, man. That sounds nice.
yeah, I'm an island boy, man. I'm an island boy, and back in the day, Guam and the Mariana Islands, the MMA community was kind of it was. Sorry, it's a little dark in here, but yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty big. There's a lot of fights. There was a huge promotion called PXC at the time. A lot of guys from Hawaii fought on there. A lot of guys from Alex Volkanovski, we fought on the same card a few times in Pacific Extreme Combat. It was an event based on Guam for the region. A lot of good guys, that are fighting in Ryzen and currently in the USC. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't know, like business or whatever, but they're on hold. So right now, it's just really all the neighboring events and the UFC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Global.
Alex, if you don't mind, I got a question about judging, if you don't mind, Alex.
Go for it.
So, Frank, obviously we know, especially you're talking right now about controversial losses. Unfortunately, they're more common than they aren't. A lot of people have a problem with the 10-point must scoring system, 10-9 or 10-8. I personally don't have a problem with it. I think for me, I think more judges. I think we had the same scoring system, but let's say we had maybe 7 judges instead of 3. Or I think 7's a good number. 9 might be too much. It's got to be an odd number, obviously. I guess what I'm asking you, instead of giving you my own opinion, what do you think MMA in general could do maybe to have less controversial judging decisions? Because we all know they happen. We all know some of them are really bad. Some of them are not as bad. But as a victim of a controversial loss yourself, what do you think the sport of MMA could do or should do to prevent bad decisions or judging?
First off, I think the whole win, lose, pay, I think they should scratch that. And I think we should all get like a flat rate, you know what I mean? So instead of like someone making their debut like 10,000, I think they should get paid like 15 flat or 20 flat, showing up to do it. But I mean, I also understand that the incentive of making better fights, I guess. I think I'm not opposed to the 10-9 rule. I'm sure there's better options. And it's just the way the fight is, For example, like Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munoz. Wait, Pedro, right? Pedro Munoz, is that right?
Yes. Frankie won the controversial decision.
Yeah.
So I had Frankie winning the contest, but I had Pedro winning the fight.
So you're saying like the way you score fights, Pedro should have won on the scorecards.
So like, typical, right? You and I get into a fight out in the freaking parking lot.
Frank, I don't want to fight you.
Okay, yeah, but we do because you like the 10 must system. So we're fighting,
okay.
Dude. So we fight in the parking lot, right? And then the fight ends, whatever, 30 seconds or 1 minute, usually how street fights are. Dude, people around him be like, oh shit, dude, like fucking like Frank got jacked up, dude. Like, did you see that fight? Like just like looking and scoring a fight like that. But imagine now you get fighters and you get educated judges. If you score the fight as a whole and do not do rounds, kind of like how Pride did it, I think that's the best way. But
Gotcha.
you're giving too much power. But you're giving too much power to the judges. So that's why you need educated judges. There's a lot of instances where Dominic Cruz would be commentating, but like, man, this judge is not even watching the fight. He's like freaking on his phone.
Yeah, it was UFC Houston was all the big controversy.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh god, that was like the worst judging ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? So you have that, which is fucking like yo, like this is money that like livelihoods that you're messing up by just not watching the fight, and a lot of them are boxing background judges, especially from these commissions. So it doesn't really, they value a punch to the face versus a grappling exchange, So it's kind of like you're tainting the sport, you're hindering the development of the sport, or you're developing the sport in a very one-sided way, So that's where I feel that commissions and judges should be fighters, retired fighters, or just fighters in general, because that have no ties to teams or to people, because that's the only way to like really, I feel like one of the the best referees are the referees that have fight experience, you know. you know,
Yeah, for sure.
versus you see the referee, you know. So like I think to answer your question with judging, I'm not opposed to the 10-9. It's it makes it a different contest for sure, you know.
Okay.
And fighters have to go and perform and try to win at that contest and compete at that contest, you know.
Absolutely.
I like I really like one championships rules.
How are their rules different? Other
Yeah,
than I think they got soccer kicks and shit, but what else? What else?
oh yeah, soccer kicks, knees on the ground, but their judging system is not is, even though they do 3-5s, they judge the fight as a whole. So you get more,
Oh,
you get don't quote me on this, but I think you get scored higher with near finishes and aggression versus like, and then like, so the number one level, high top level tier of scoring is near finishes, near knockouts, near submissions, and then it goes into aggression, and then it goes into effective grappling control, and then I think it's something like that where the fight is scored in that, but the fight is scored overall, you know. So for example, like guys could be going a guy and then they can get takedowns in the first round and takedowns in the second round, but you know, not so much damage. But and then the guy that's been taken down could like just jack the other guy up in the third round and get like near finishes, and he could win the fight because as a fight as a whole, he won the fight. You know, he looked like he was really beating the guy using martial arts to its I guess what it's used for.
Mhm.
so instead of like, okay, he just won the third round, like he did so well, he did so much, he won the fight.
Yeah, like yo, like damn, dude, he really beat the mess out of him in the third round. You know, even though he was getting taken down in the first and second, it's there on the totem pole of like of scoring levels. It's just it's like a this, you know, versus a near finish is like right up here, you know,
Worth more. Gotcha.
worth way more. So I'm sure they have their way of scoring. I need to look into it more because I really enjoy that. But at the same time, you're putting a lot of power into the hands of the judges, you know. So if you have an uneducated judge, it's kind of like,
I've heard some horror stories personally about uneducated judges. I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan himself say that he's overheard, like, let's say, I think the specific example he gave was fighters attempting a Kimura and getting real close to getting it. And he said he's heard a judge lean over and ask someone else, "What's this guy trying to do right now?" I mean,
oh
that's
god, yeah,
mind blowing. How can you not know something as basic as a Kimura and be judging a fight when that, I mean, like you said,
you know,
near
you're
submission
judging a
finishes.
you're judging a UFC fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and something like so valuable, like you were saying, attempted submissions. Like, I mean, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy myself, but so I mean, submission is probably not a good example. I'm a little biased, but I'm saying an attempted submission is, basically like hurting a guy on the feet and almost knocking him out. Like
Yeah,
you're about to
dude,
be finished. That should be
yeah,
worth a lot.
it should be worth a lot, bro. You know, because
100%.
man, because in jujitsu, in the sport and in the sport of jujitsu, you get an advantage point for submission attempts,
Right.
which could win you world championships. You know, you could be at a stalemate in close guard, get a Kimura, and almost try to finish it. You make faces and
Well, listen,
advantage.
Frank, I don't want you talking like you're some 2010 blue belt world champion or anything.
No, 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 man. I need to showcase my grappling in my fights, but I just love to bang.
I know. No, I happened to see online. I think it said you won the world championships in 2010 as a blue belt, right?
Yeah. I was a blue belt
Yeah.
world champ, man. It was like, man, 8 fights, 9 fights to the gold. I was like, oh, fuck, it was a lot, dude.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Alex, go ahead with another one.
I was just curious, what was your start in kind of like mixed martial art? What was your original kind of springboard into the MMA together? What was your first love?
Um, I was like, how I got into MMA.
Yeah. What was the first thing you were doing?
Oh, dude, never really played any sport. I mean, I played golf all the time, you know, like I that was my only sport I played from 5. I never played any other sports, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I'll shoot some hoops, like, you know, at school, but I mean, nothing too crazy. There was no wrestling program, no football program in Saipan, you know, where I grew up, small island. Uh, golf, but and then I was in middle school and I was going into high school and I was like, dude, I was a soft kid. I was a pretty soft and heavy kid. You know what I mean? Growing up, and I wanted to get in shape, but I hated running, dude. There's no way I was gonna run and get in shape. So there were these guys that were doing NHB at the time. It's called, no holds barred, before it was called MMA, because back in the day, pride fighters would come to our islands for vacation because Japan was only 3 hours away. So there's a lot of exposure, you know what I mean, with fighting. Super Brawl, Jungle Rules, Fury, PXC. So we would I went with my friend. We did some NHB at the time, and just I loved it, dude. I loved the whole problem solving, the camaraderie with the team, with the boys, and never really like a violent kid. I'd never been in a street fight before, even to this day. Fucking kind of terrified to get into one, honestly. But yeah, I just loved it. It was like a huge, big problem solving freaking thing. It was like getting punched in the face. Like, how the fuck do I stop getting punched in the face? Oh, okay, just slip, or catch. You know what I mean? Or what is this armbar? What the hell is this? So like it was. I kept coming and I kept coming and I kept coming, and after a year, they're like, "Hey, you want to try fighting?" I was 16 years old. I was like, "Okay, shoot." After that, it was all she wrote. And I was like, man, I think I'm going to dedicate my life to this thing. And I've been doing it for more than half my life.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
man, that's awesome.
That's inspiring,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I had no real intention of fight. People, have other motivations and other reasons why they got into it and they fight, like they come from bad neighborhoods or whatever. I grew up in a really great family, you know what I mean? I'm so blessed, yeah, really nice island, really beautiful island, beautiful people, and freaking picked up fighting. Yeah, crazy.
I gotta
I got
say,
a lot of,
Frank, I don't think
yeah.
you have to worry about a street fight. I think you'd be all right. I think you handle yourself pretty well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hope so. I would use all the strikes that are prohibited in an MMA fight. Eye gouge, freaking groin shots.
12-6 elbow.
12. Oh God, don't even talk about that rule.
I know,
I don't
it's
know.
the
I
worst
don't even
rule.
know. I don't
Worst
even know
rule
it's
ever.
illegal. Yeah.
I've actually heard John McCarthy say it was because people used to watch karate guys do a downward strike and break center blocks, and they thought it was too dangerous or whatever.
Yeah. Man, guys
Before
break
people
center
really
blocks like
understood
this.
fighting. Yeah, people. This is way before people understood
Yeah.
fighting. Obviously, we got it kind of figured out now. I got a question that I feel like some people think it's a hard question, but obviously it's hypothetical, so it doesn't have to be that hard. Just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your MMA career is over for whatever reason. Not a bad reason. Let's just say you're done fighting. MMA is now illegal. Let's say whatever. But let's say you only get to pick one martial art to train the rest of your life as a hobby. What would it be?
Ooh.
Good question, huh? Thank you.
Wow. I would have to say jiu-jitsu.
100%. Good answer.
I know, right?
Says the
Yeah,
guy
I'm
with the
talking to you, that's
jiu-jitsu
why.
shirt.
I know, right? I think either two, I'm really fascinated with two martial arts. It's the art of boxing and jiu-jitsu. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between jiu-jitsu and boxing, honestly. I just love the martial arts that come with putting on the kimono and having an instructor and the martial arts way. Unfortunately, boxing doesn't really have that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like find a coach.
It's kind of like a sport. It's kind of like a sport rather than a martial art in a way, right?
Yeah, for sure. But boxing coaches that kind of like take the martial arts route, I think it's kind of dope. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%. I wanted to ask you. Go ahead, Alex.
Well, I know we don't want to hold him here too long, Gabe.
No, want to get some fight predictions?
Yeah, we got to ask about next week. Well, not next week. Geez, it's on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. What fight are you? This is, in our opinion, I can't think of a fight night that seems to be more stacked. That's not.
Dude, this is a stacked fight night.
Yeah. So I was just curious, which fight on this card is most exciting to you? You're most interested to watch?
For the main event.
Yeah.
Good answer. What let's give a Frank Camacho in-depth analysis. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to win and how?
Okay. So who I think is gonna win, or who do I want to win?
Well, as soon as you say that, it's pretty obvious. But you go ahead.
Okay. No, actually, okay. So here's the premise. Everything I have in my wallet and my house and all my assets, if I was to bet on one person, who do I think I would bet on, in the sense of, like, so that I don't lose all my shit. Okay. So main event, if you guys can, I don't have the card in front of me, so can you guys like help me out? I know. So the main event obviously is Covington and Tyron Woodley. First off,
And
man,
then,
I'm kind of, dude. Okay, I get the I don't know how to say this, but I wish Woodley uh didn't approach the press conference the way that he did.
yeah, I think
Uh,
he's getting some flack for that.
yeah, but I mean, I get what he's saying, right? And you see a lot of other sports, like, protesting, and I get it. I get the movement, and more power to them, and I hope they really get their thing across. Uh, but I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I think he could have used that opportunity at the press conference to really build the fight and really get things off his chest. Man, hype the fight, dude. That's your job. But then again, because of what he did, it's like, more awareness to the Black Lives Matter movement, right? But anyway,
Sure.
I not with that being said, but like, I think Covington's just gonna run through him, just because stylistically, like, Covington, fuck, dude, that guy brings pressure in wrestling, dude, and he's gonna keep you on your heels, and he's gonna keep your back to the fence. And if you just look at the way the last few fights of what do you call that, of Woodley, this does not, you have probably the most pressure that he's going to be getting compared to the last few fights that he's had.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Burns.
Burns put the pressure on him, but he's not going to put the pressure on that, like what's his name is going to bring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, will he let his hands fly? That's always the question, right? But if I was to put all my money on someone, it would be on Covington.
Gotcha. I think we both collectively agree with you. From what I understand, it sounds like let's say when Colby fought Robbie Lawler, everyone was like, let your hands go. But the amount of pressure and the volume puts on you, it seems like a lot of guys just they can't find a window to even do anything. They're just so busy defending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then when you do have a window, you're fucking exhausted, dude, because you don't fight like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've been saying for a while, I don't think it's many people debate it anymore. I think he's got the highest pressure, highest cardio in the sport, probably, Colby.
You know who I would like to see? I'd
What's
like to
that?
see Colby Covington versus Neil Magny.
Sure, Magny's a tough dude, and Magny fought Robbie Lawler in a pretty similar fashion, didn't he?
Yeah, and crazy, and both cardio, and tough as nails. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Neil seems really long. Is he long, or does he just look that way?
Dude, I fought Neil Magny in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yes, I didn't know that. The opening fight for you. Yes?
Season 17, you had to fight into the house. Dude, I was beating the mess out of him in the first round, but like he always does,
Finds a way.
He beat the shit out of me in the second, and then it was tied. So then we went to a third round, and he beat the mess out of me again in the third round. I was like, fuck, dude. This guy is nonstop, bro.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see. Alex, so the co-main
Cowboy versus Nico
Cerrone.
Yep.
I love Nico, man. I love Nico, dude. He is we've been on fight cards, and we've been on the same corner, like locker rooms together. such a jolly freaking guy, dude. I have Cowboy winning though. I think
I'm
I
with you.
think I think Cowboys just is way more. It's just more technical. Um, and if he ends up on his and if he puts Price on his back, I don't think Price can land his like wicked freaking crazy shots because
Yeah.
man, Cowboys ground game is just
Super underrated, right? Super underrated.
super man phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
Uh, then again, anything can happen, but I'm leaning towards Cowboy in this one.
Gotcha. Big
Who
Cowboy fan over here.
yeah, but who I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for Nico though.
Okay, Nico's a cool dude. He's a cool. They had a
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
little chat or press conference or whatever. You know, they seem to be fans of each other, and there's
yeah.
just no bad blood or whatever. Just
Yeah, Nico. Nico Price. He's like you see him. He's kind of sometimes he's a little. He seems a little awkward or like trying a little too much. Of like trying to be goofy or whatever. But that's really how he is, dude. And I really appreciate that about him.
his personality comes out in his fight style. You mean?
Oh, yeah. His personality, the way he is in like press conferences or his Instagram or whatever, that's how he really is, dude.
That's the beautiful thing about martial arts. You know that it really is an art. You know what I mean? You kind of
Yeah.
put yourself in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so in
you
your
wanna
division,
go-
Johnny Walker, Ryan Spann.
That's not his division. That's light
Ooh.
heavyweight, Alex. Not lightweight.
Oh, I just read that wrong. I was gonna say, I was like, when did Johnny Walker become a lightweight?
I know. I was like, good God.
He chopped his legs off. He made lightweight.
I read that
Wow,
too fast.
that's a very interesting fight that I think it could flying under the radar, dude. I have a Johnny Walker winning that fight.
We're 100% with you so far.
Yeah.
We got the same picks.
Nice.
What's is next? Random Marcos versus Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, well, we skipped the Chesamat Zamat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Versus
pronounce
GM3.
both of their names,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I just say the Wolf and GM3.
Yeah,
I can't pronounce
the
their names
Wolf.
Yeah.
either.
How do you pronounce the name? Chesmat or
I think it's Chazmat Hamzat Chimyov, something like that.
Okay,
I don't have the name in front of me.
I have that guy winning, dude. That guy's a beast.
He's a monster. But I mean, GM3 is I'm pretty sure a really high level black belt I think he's tied for most submissions in the middleweight division. So maybe we might catch him in a crazy sub. I mean, I don't think he will, but I mean, it's possible, right?
Oh no, it's totally possible. You know what I mean? Totally possible.
Big favorite. Big favorite.
I think the Wolf.
The Wolf
is like his grappling is phenomenal.
That Dagestani grappling, man, that's something else.
Yeah, dude, it's something else, bro. That wrestling pressure is just gonna
freak.
Yeah,
in the greatest of ways,
Yeah.
And then go ahead, Alex.
Then Mackenzie Dern and Marcos.
I'm a huge Mackenzie Dern fan. Because she really flies the jiu-jitsu flag, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate someone like just flying their martial arts and their martial art, and really sticking to it and like representing it. I'm a huge like kumite, kickboxer, freaking blood sport fan. You know what I mean? So
yeah, hell yeah. I watched Bloodsport for the first time not very long ago. I'm not proud to say it, but it was the first time I watched it. It was on Netflix, I think, and I watched it. It's good. It's good. I'm sorry. I said I'm not proud of it, all right?
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah, and then the last on the main card is Kevin Holland and Darren Stewart at middleweight.
Oh, Darren Stewart, yeah, dude, that's gonna be fireworks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overly familiar with Darren Stewart. Could you educate us a little bit?
I've seen him. I've seen him fight before. I think he's had some tough fights, but I love the way he fights, dude. And he's fighting what's his name?
Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's a pretty scary dude.
Kevin Holland, dude. I think, man, it's gonna start off the main card the right way,
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good fight.
So excited to watch.
So we'll do two more predictions for you. Franklin, we'll let you go. We'll keep it simple. We'll start off with next week. Obviously Stylebender versus Costa. And then we'll let you break that down, give a prediction, and then once you're done with that, hop on Khabib and Gaethje, which everyone wants to hear. So let's hear
Yeah.
you break down those two main events, and then we'll let you go, Frank. And it's been a blast talking to you, dude.
Oh, of course, dude. I have for not this weekend, for the next weekend, Felipe Costa versus Felipe Costa. I'm like butchering.
Paulo Costa.
Felipe Costa, the jiu-jitsu guy. See, you were
I
in
think
the.
so. I think
Yeah,
so.
he's a world champ. Yeah, Felipe Costa. Yeah, small, lightweight.
Little
Anyway,
guy.
sorry,
Okay,
little
okay,
guy.
okay, okay.
Okay, sorry. So so Costa versus Stylebender. I have Costa, dude.
How
Me
dare you.
too. All right.
I have Costa, bro. He's gonna bring the fight to him. You know, if he gets caught and he lives and dies by the sword, he's gonna live and die by the sword. But he's gonna impose his will.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at least
If
we
he
know it
gets
won't be
tired, if he gets tired doing it, or if he gets caught doing it, hey, fucking, then it's gonna happen, you know. But he's gonna impose his will, and
Do you think he'll have? Do you think I don't think we've ever seen him in a 5-rounder. Do you think he'll still be fresh in 4 and 5? Let's say it goes that far. I'm not sure. I don't think he's ever fought 5 rounds.
I've only seen him go 3 crazy ass rounds with freaking what's his name,
Romero.
Romero. I think Costa is not gonna come out as strong as we think he is.
I think he's gonna save a little energy, play a
it's
little
gonna
bit
be
safe.
like when Stylebender fought Romero. They're gonna stare at each
No,
other the first round.
no, not gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be way more action. Probably way more action, but I hope not. Shit.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a little bit more calculated, starting off, you know, and then when he starts getting his groove, he's gonna start picking up the pace and the pressure.
Gotcha.
But I have
Okay,
him
so
winning. I have Costa winning.
So do you think by stoppage? I assume you think by stoppage, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna stop him.
Under 3 or over 3?
I think if it passes the 3rd round, I have 4 and 5 going to Stylebender.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm with too.
Yeah.
I think like you. I think Costa would. Obviously, we disagree on the decision, but I think he would.
You have to stop him.
I think he'd be gassed after 3, and I think he'd get TKO'd by a fresher, more calculated Stylebender. But I've just never seen Costa after 3, and he fights crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you got Costa by stoppage, yes?
Stoppage within the 3rd.
Under 3, okay. And then the one everyone's waiting for, Khabib and Gaethje. What you got?
Gaethje, dude.
Yes.
I think Gaethje's gonna pull it off, dude. Like I really do, but like you know, back to the whole. If I had to bet all my assets on on a fighter, I would put it on Gaethje. I think Gaethje's gonna do it, dude.
Fuck yeah, Frank. Fuck yeah.
With him, I just think it's so curious because he is a high-level wrestler, but we never have really seen it in the UFC. So it's curious.
Yeah.
That's what's so interesting. But then on the other hand, I mean, Khabib apparently is just another world in wrestling, even though, you know, we're so used to U.S. wrestlers getting the recognition, but remembering that Russian Sambo is another level too.
Dude, Khabib, I remember seeing him in the locker room. Dude, he came in with his team, dude. And like he grappled this one guy for like 40 minutes straight, and then that guy got tired, dude. And then like another guy came in for like 5 minutes, and then he got tired. Another guy came in for 10 minutes, and then he got tired. And then the other guy came on for like another 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Shit.
And he just walked through all of those fucking guys, dude.
He's something else, dude. That's
Yeah.
good. I mean, I would love to see that.
But I think Gaethje's gonna stop him though, in the sense of every time Gaethje fights, he's like on a suicide mission. Yeah, he's gonna cover up, and if you don't level change and try to take him down, he's swinging. You know,
he hits like a truck.
Or
he hits like a truck, or he's eating up your legs. You know, and 100%, dude. And I think that I think that Khabib, see his fight with Michael Johnson. Obviously, it gets better, right? But he gets tagged.
Yeah, he got hurt with Johnson, and he had a little bit of trouble with Ally Quinta, right? Was it trouble taking him down, or was it? It was there was something that was exposed. I don't
Yeah,
remember what
but
it was.
but that was a funky fight though. I really think that
It
um
was very last
that,
minute, and it
yeah, it
was
was kind of a funky fight. But like
sure.
I think man, Gaethje can stop mofos. You know what I mean? Like, dude, he stopped the way he finished freaking Barboza was just wild, dude,
Ooh,
and his like his climb to the top. You know?
for sure, for sure. We got Gaethje as well. So do you think Khabib is able to take him down, and Gaethje is actually able to get back up, which, as we know, is pretty rare when Khabib takes you down? Or do you think do you think Gaethje's able to hold off long enough to hurt Khabib on the feet?
I think if Khabib gets you down, you're staying down for the rest of the round.
Okay.
And I believe he will get Gaethje down. You know,
Okay. So
so
okay.
Crosses his
so
ankles, keeps him on the cage.
yeah. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna break him down. Gaethje's gonna get up to an elbow, get up to a hand, and he's gonna take the hand away and tie it up and start pounding on you. And
That
like you just
mermaid
gotta,
shit he does with your legs is
I
freaky,
know it's
man.
just so.
It's
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. He'll mermaid your legs. You're gonna get to an elbow. You're gonna get to a hand. He's gonna take it away. You're gonna get back to an elbow. He's gonna trap your hands from your back. You know what I mean? He's gonna maul you, dude. And you just got to get through it, and you just got to endure it, you know, and get to the next
So you
round.
think okay? So you think that's going to happen to Gaethje at least once, right? And then you think Gaethje's just going to have to survive until next round, and then restart and come back after it next round?
Yeah, and not derive from the game plan, whatever
So
him and Whitman have in
okay,
store, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
with.
like I feel like everyone that fights Khabib, um, everyone that fights Khabib, they're always like on their heels and they're always trying to move around or move away from the takedown, which helps them get the takedown.
Sure.
But like I feel like kind of like a kicker, right? If you're ever fighting a kicker, you always want to kind of keep them on their heels so that they don't fire and they don't kick. That's kind of like how people were taking out Pettis, you know.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
and I think that's how you combat a wrestler. You get in his face and you force him to shoot.
Instead of anticipate it and wait for it.
And yeah, you don't wait for it, because if you wait for it, then he's getting his groove, he's getting his timing, he's getting his range. But if you force the wrestler to shoot or you force the wrestler to come, then you can defend it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I mean, easier said than done, man, until you get a
Obviously,
fucking guy
yeah.
like Khabib, you know?
For sure. I've heard a lot of people like let's say jiu-jitsu specifically. I've heard people say like like guys who have really good guillotines. They'll say the guys that I have the most trouble guillotining are the guys that don't know I have a good guillotine. Like they're not expecting it. The guys
Yeah.
that know I have a good guillotine, they're waiting for it. They're anticipating it. They'll shoot a little differently or hesitate a little bit, and I'll get
And you
it. But
take away, yeah,
if a guy has no idea I'm a good guillotiner, I have a harder time getting it. You know what I mean? So
for
don't
sure.
anticipate.
Yeah, don't anticipate and like don't and like and try to build it off like through your game, you know? Like, and if you have a good guillotine, man, I'm not gonna compensate my shot, you know, because it's just gonna get me into more trouble. You know, like
Yeah.
if we're training, I would shoot regularly on you, and if I get guillotined 10 times, then I get guillotined 10 times, you know, but I'm gonna practice and ask you the defense, you know. So
Yeah, you don't want to hesitate or try to do something different.
yeah, because you're compromising your previous techniques, you know, your previous setups.
Hell yeah. So Gaethje, we'll wrap it up with that, Frank. Gaethje by stoppage. What under 3 or over 3? We'll just keep it that basic.
We'll keep it under the third.
Under the third. All right, man. Well, Frank, again, this is Gage and my co-host Alex. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah.
Man, thank you guys for having me, brother. Appreciate it. It's just yeah, thanks for having me, man. And you guys know where to find me on social media, you know, so just hit me up anytime.
Absolutely. And then so we'll probably just throw this interview on our next podcast when we're probably breaking down tomorrow's fights. But I'll be sure to tag you in it and all that good shit, man.
Please, brother, please, and I'll be sure to share it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Looking forward
man.
to
Take
see you
care,
fight
buddy.
again, man.
Can't wait.
Thank you. You
And
guys take care.
fingers crossed. We should be able to talk to Brock tomorrow, and we'll see if he wants to run that back.
Oh man, yeah, that'll be dope, dude. That'll be dope.
Hell yeah.
Please
Yeah.
tell him to
Well,
heal up. Tell him to heal up, and I wish him the best. And hopefully we can run it back when he's all healed up and ready to go.
I think he'll love to hear that, man. I think he's a good dude, just like you. So we'll be happy to share the message, man.
Right on, guys. Take care.
Peace out, Frank.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
buddy.